on the field of 68. Welcome in the reigning champion Vermont Catamounts, led by Alisa Kresge, joining us now here in America East Women's Basketball Media Day. So how close is your office to the Becker-McGarity office? Is the connection still strong? I mean, could you guys peek out and wave to each other down the hall? Like, how does this work?
It is pretty close, but we live in the gym, so we see them all the time.
Very good. Very good. All right, I'll start us off here. Okay, look, Coach Kresge, great to have you with us here. Exciting times for you. You've been to 3 consecutive championship games, but now, as you know, you're going to have the target on your back, right? You won the league last year. You're picked number 1 in the preseason poll. Why? What's your confidence level right now with your group as you turn the page and start another season?
You know, I think we have a lot of great pieces coming back. We added a lot of great pieces, and we're just trying to figure out what this looks like. Every year's different, but this year's extremely different, graduating a couple of key pieces that have been real anchors to what we do. And so we're just trying to figure out how this new group gels. I like a lot of our pieces, but we got to figure out how to put it together and put it together for 40 minutes. We're going to get everyone's best every night, and we got to figure that out.
You know, somebody that you already know how I feel about her, but Nicola, I mean, just watching her passion every day, and it's not just during the games. I think people see it, you know, the fist pumps and just how she gets her team going. But it's every day in practice too. So just going into this year, you know, obviously she had a tremendous year last year and was, you know, the MVP of the tournament, and was just really great just to see all of her hard work pay off. But where do you see her kind of in the offseason developing the most, and things that she's worked on in this offseason to help prepare her for her senior year?
Nicola's been working really hard. She hasn't skipped a beat. I don't think she's settling, which is big after a great finish to last year. I think that just gave her more fire, more fuel to the fire. And so she got an opportunity to play with her senior national team out of Lafayette. And I think that was really good for her. But she understands she's a big piece of what we do, and she's going to have to battle on both sides of the floor. She's going to get everybody's best defender. She's going to get double teamed, things that we've been throwing at her in practice. And, you know, a little bit it's been like, Anna's got all that. I didn't have to worry about that. And she's embracing that. But she's hungry. She's working hard, and we're really excited for her senior campaign here coming up.
Coach Kresge of the Vermont Catamounts joining us, our first guest here on America East Women's Basketball Media Day. So one thing you've done really well these last handful of years is you guard. Your teams defend, and you make it challenging for the opposition to get in any sort of flow offensively. Catamounts with a top 5 nationally ranked scoring defense in the past 2 seasons, but you lose Anna Olson, you lose Bella Vito. Where does the buy-in now come from on the defensive end? With those are 2 huge pieces. How does this group now lock in on the defensive end of the floor?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think our players that come through our program understand that you don't play unless you play defense and give it your all. And I think we've had some players that have been on the bench that are really hungry to show us what they're made of defensively, because they have offensive weapons for us, but they know if they don't help us defend, they're not going to get that opportunity to showcase that. And I think of an Emma Hahn, who's been a nice player for us. And in her first year, she did some nice things. I just think she's made such a jump in the offseason defensive-mindedly. And then I think we have some players like Jaden, who's transferred in. She's just a high IQ player, and she understands the game. So she's in the right place. And I think our defense might look a little different without Anna back there and Bella getting all those steals. But I do think we have some key pieces that weren't part of our program, or were, and they just didn't get those opportunities yet. But our players know that we got to play defense. That's a big conversation every single day. So that hasn't changed. The mentality, our leadership leading our defense has not changed.
Good stuff.
And you scored a lot. That's something, like knowing Alisa and playing with Alisa, who never looked at the rim. All my college teammates are probably laughing at me right now. But I just thought how you scored the ball, just your movement. You guys are so unselfish, and how you shot the ball from 3 specifically. And just thinking about Kira and some of the big shots that she knocked down. And now knowing that there are sisters on the team. So what's that dynamic been like, having sisters on the team?
It's been really cool. I think that's helped Leah just not skip a beat coming to college. Kira had to kind of fumble through some stuff. And I think Kira, being that amazing big sister, didn't want her sister to have to fumble through things. So she's really helped her understand what to expect and get through challenges. But yeah, we do have a lot of scoring weapons. I think we're pretty darn mobile, which is exciting. And we just got to make sure that we're taking the best shots. Sometimes I think we pass up open shots because we are so unselfish, and got us into trouble at times. And I think that's something we're seeing a little bit of that right now, and we're identifying it. And we got to make sure that we are confident in raising up and hitting shots. That's part of each of our players' roles, and they got to understand that.
So you mentioned the addition of Welts coming over from Binghamton, so a newcomer. But you also have, and you mentioned the Hanson sisters, but you've got of those, including Kira, you have 5 freshmen added to this year's team. What is the most, and maybe Maureen, you could weigh in here too. Like, what's the most gratifying part of your job when it comes to molding freshmen, while also having championship aspirations? Like, what for you, Alisa? What's the biggest challenge when you try to bring along freshman players?
I think a challenge is just understanding we're all getting really talented high school players, right? And so they were it probably, right? They were winners, they were
Yeah.
competing, they were playing most minutes, and trying to get them to understand, like, just show up and give it your all every single day, and watching them figure that out and being okay with embracing the challenges that come with you've known a system for 4 years. You were the top person, and so figuring out how to just embrace those challenges and using those situations where maybe you failed as an opportunity to learn. And so I think that's really fun with our first years. They've really embraced that. They've really embraced, like, I'm going to fail over and over again, but I'm getting better. And that's all that matters right now. So that's, for me, that's really fun watching this group of freshmen really just own that they're in a pretty darn tough environment because there's some elite players that they're competing every day against, but to embrace that opportunity just to get better.
Yeah, and to that point, I think Alisa, like before you came on, we were just talking about you and your staff's ability to just develop players that come in as freshmen that you guys develop, and just with the changing landscape of the transfer portal, you kids stay at UVM, and they, like Emma and Anna. I mean, I'm sure have had opportunities to move on, and I think that speaks volumes of you and your staff. And even just seeing the list that came out last week, the America East, like top 25 of the last 25 years. And to have Emma Utterback on it, and then have Anna who just graduated on that list. I just, I think you and your staff have just always developmental, just, you've done such a great job with that, of keeping the players and building that culture where they don't want to leave. They want to win. They want to win for each other. And I just think that to me has always shown through, especially in the last 3 championship games. So kudos to you guys. It's just been really fun for me to watch that.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it. And I think you hit the nail on the head. It's our players care here, and they care about each other. And I think that's what's special. All the credit goes to the players and what they've been doing. We're fortunate to have the right people here that want to make the most of this and want to see things through. So we've been really lucky as coaches.
Is that what you've accomplished in terms, not just the wins and losses in the championship games, but as far, Maureen's mentioning it, she just laid it out very nicely there. Is this what you envisioned from when you took the job? Or maybe what's happened now when you could look back and say, wow, I didn't expect it to be like this. Do you reflect at all on that?
I just think of, and Maureen and I have a nice connection because of our experience in college together, and the people that we were showing up every day for and with, and the coaches, and the environment that they created was really special. And I just felt like if I ever had that opportunity, I want to try to make sure I can try to recreate that as best as possible. And so getting the right people on staff, the right people on our team, the leadership, it takes everybody. And so I just reflect on that. I'm really lucky that I found a home, that they really care about women's basketball. They care about the people. And then we found the right players to buy in and want to make this place a special place for everyone. So I do reflect in a sense that this is what I was hoping for, but it's pretty special that this is where we're at now.
I have to ask you, because she's everybody's favorite in Burlington, but how proud are you of Kat Gilwey? Just everything she's been through, and now being on the preseason, all conference team, just especially your position as a player, and Cappy at point guard and just your relationship.
Yeah, she's pretty darn special. She just does everything with the Vermont pride in her. She works her tail off. She supports her teammates through and through. She's obviously quite talented on the court. She's so passionate about Vermont, and she will literally give her shirt off her back to anybody. I mean, and she's really, really smart too. She just has it all going for her, and she doesn't come across that way. She's the most sweet human being. She doesn't care about the accolades. She just cares about supporting her teammates and trying to win. And so it's just an honor to watch her continue to develop and continue to make the whole state proud. As a coach, you want 100 Catherine Gilweys.
That's awesome. Kind of off of something, you just brought something up about the state, the community buy-in. I mean, one of my first jobs out of school was to work at UNH, and I worked, Maureen was the head coach at UNH, but the fact that the league and the men have done this, but now the league has shifted where you have the on-site conference tournament. Now, last year you had to go to UAlbany. Is that something you've discussed with your veteran leaders? Like, we want this game, this championship game, or this Final Four to run through us. Is that something you've got in mind for this year?
We have a standard where we're at in our program. We want to be in the mix. We want to be hosting postseason play, right? That's obviously part of it, but we have a lot of steps to take before we get there. We talk about the big picture, but we also talk about the little benchmarks that we have to hit in order to get there. And I think where we're at right now is we know where our end goal is and what, it's going to take a lot to get there. But now it's making sure that we stay grounded and we take care of the day in and day out little details. And then it will work itself out if we can really focus on those little details.
Very good. I think I'm good, Maureen. I guess my last question, my last thought would be, Alisa, do you go knock on the door of the director of major gifts if you keep winning at this high level and say, hey, come on, Maureen, like show me the money, help me out here. Like, how does that work? Like, I'm just saying.
Oh, she's driven. I don't even have to do it.
We're trying. And before we go, I have to say what a year it's been for the Kresge linear household. Not only did they go to the NCAAs, but they had a big wedding in June. So congratulations. It was one of the best parties I've ever been to. So thank you for inviting us.
Oh, thank you. Our players gave us a nice wedding gift.
Yeah. Love that. A lot of weddings.
I'll have to do it again.
Big theme.
Yeah.
Big theme to start the day. Okay, very good. Alisa Kresge of the Vermont Catamounts. Thanks so much for stopping by, and best of luck this year. Hopefully you're in another conference championship game.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks, Lise.
Excellent.
See you later.